Okay, we've got a solar light here. We've used it for a few years in the garden, but it's not working anymore. So how can we reuse this? I suggest we can turn it into a pupil for our spooky Sghoul. So basically, you've got the bones of what you need, and then you get some gauzy cloth, and you cut it into a square big enough to cover the solar light. You find the center point, and then you flop it over the top there, and then you tie an elastic band around it to hold it in place. So here's one I did earlier. It's not finished yet. The next step is to hide the fact that it's a solar light sitting on a post. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find some white cloth or some white plastic, and I'm going to tape it around, right round the whole perimeter of, I'm not sure what that's called, that bit there, and make sure that the bit that I wrap around it is going to at least be as long as the post is, or maybe a bit longer too. So I found this leftover white tablecloth. It has been cut up and used to make a screen for my window projection that I use, and this is what's been left over, so I'm quite happy to use the plastic in this case. To get the right length for the part that's going to cover up the post, I've just laid it along the bottom of the sheet, and I've left a little bit of extra length there just so that it can sit out a bit crumply on top of where I'll be positioning it later. So I'll just basically probably cut it about that length down there and across to there, because I estimate that will be enough to wrap around here. So I've worked out that it doesn't need that full width there, probably only half of that. So I'll just show you. Luckily it's a bit hard when you've got one hand. If I just roll that round, you'll see that almost to the fold there's enough to wrap around here. So I'm going to cut it down a bit further. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go all around the outside with some double-sided tape. I've just placed this across the top of the double-sided tape that's been wrapped all the way around, and I've just left a little bit of extra to cover up the black that's sitting above the tape. We'll just see if that works or not. So that's all wrapped all the way around, sticking to the double-sided tape, and there's a little bit of a hanging over piece there, so I might use some white electrical tape or some more double-sided tape just to finish that off. Just take your solar light and then you wrap your double-sided tape all around the outside of the base here, this bit here, and then you take your plastic or your fabric and you wrap it around, all the way around until you're finished. Then you stick the end flap down with either some tape or some more double-sided tape, which is what I've used. And then you tape the bottom of the white sheet together using the same method. Now you find the center point of the gauze fabric and you place it directly over the top of the head and secure it with an elastic band. Now it's time to decorate. So that one's done. He has his tie on, and I've cut the ends in some diagonals that makes it look a bit neater. And then all I have to do is the other three that I've got left over that don't work anymore, and I'll set them up and I'll show you what they look like. If you're not setting them up on the lawn, you need to do this next step. Just take an ordinary box that's deep enough to take the spikes. Then you paint the box grey or black, let the paint dry, and using a knife you puncture it into some crosses. That will enable you to stand up your ghost props for your display. So here they are with their flowy gowns on. Happy Halloween, everyone!